What's up, guys? It's Black and back with some more Combined Arms content. We are back with part 4 of Combined Arms in review. This time my opponent is going to be Kato. I scouted Kato a little bit. I know that he is a big nod player. He's been a big nod player in TD as well, so bike harass is something I gotta watch out for. Combined Arms Nod has a very powerful tier 4 with cyborgs. They are pretty hard to deal with for most factions. I randomed into Iraq, which is a great anti-light faction, which Nod is anti-light in the beginning and then more anti-heavy with cyborg elites in the end game. So I don't feel like Iraq matches up super great with Nod, but it is what it is. We're on the map Harmony, so there's just these two oligarchs in the middle. So I'm just gonna do the double ref build here that I've been doing, or the triple ref build that I've been doing, I should say, and then throw in some Grenadier cheese, because why not? You know, 2 Grens in Combined Arms is like, it's $320, but if you can kill a power plant like that, $20 difference is non-factor. You definitely want to kill a power plant with them, and you can, and they will absolutely murder power plants really quickly. So I got my first ref down, just microing that hard a little bit. And you can notice that I've definitely switched to that building a second rack before War Factory. I think that was just something I actually learned from Boots, and it just seemed to be really effective, so it's something I continue to do throughout. And it just made sense, like you don't need to build that power plant until after that second Rex anyways. So 2 refs and 2 Rexes equals 100 power, so that's perfect. It's always nice when your build orders work out like that, so. Just got 1 rifle, I'm trying to go back there, but unfortunately got rallied to the middle, but I wanted to keep my flank secure just in case there is early back rushes, but with the ref cell I'll be fine there, I'll get there too. Grenadiers, I'm just trying to park them in the middle of nowhere. Don't want them to get seen just yet, you know. And on that, I'm just, you know, gonna sit back, macro up, and just micro my harvs a little bit, because there's nothing else to really do. Kind of want to wait for those Grens to go in, maybe when he moves the MC out, but I mean, the chances are he's gonna move the MC out for the bottle, so also probably makes sense to go in, like, when another engagement's going. But as you can see, I'm just queuing up my infinite infantry, almost up to 100 rockets there. 3rd ref's down, a little bit poorly placed, but that's okay. He's got another rifle scouting, which is unfortunate, and he is going to get a rocket there, so that really sucks. That's a nice kill for him, just perfect angle. So gotta send some rifles back to kill with it, and I got this defense placed, or ready to be placed, I should say. Now's when I decide to go in for my Grens. Maybe he'll be interested, but all I find is his hand and odd, so all I could hope for is killing 1 rifle there. Gives him about 33% refund. Second barracks is about to come out. I've got plenty of cash, so that will be nice. Just pump out a bunch of rifles. 15 and 5 is so 3 to 1. Pretty good, although I think 2 to 1 is a little bit better. But that's just me. Placing another power plant right next to each other is a bold move. I'm trying to think of where I want this chemical tower since I am Iraq. Side in the front's a little bit better, but in the back probably would have been best. That's where all my eco really is, and I got more infantry presence in the front. Yep, just getting that big ball out right now. Thinking about maybe building another chemical tower, but I'm not going to be able to afford it. I'm already running pretty low on cash. Sending 1 rifle scout up the top. Again, that's just to make sure there's no bikes coming. Cancel that flank tower. So I'm not going to be able to use it. Send another rifle scout up there so I don't need 2 on the bottom. And I think better of it, just send it towards the middle. The War Factory is almost up, and then once that's up, I'll be able to move this MSG. On this map, you can either expand to the top, which is like a safer double mine expansion, or you can do a little bit more risky and move down to the bottom, which is what I'm going to do. You can kind of grab those 2 ore mines and that single ore mine with 1 MC build radius, so that just saves me from expanding a little bit later. I think it's a little bit more efficient that way, but it also exposes you to a much bigger area of attack, which against Nod is very scary, so keep that in mind when you guys are playing. Got a rifle scouting out there, just to make sure there's nothing waiting though, because that is always important. And now that I'm going to have a base forward, I want that back line rifle scout to be up forward as well. First heavy tank out is good, and I'm just about to stall, so I'm going to have to start pausing that queue. And then a bad select there, I don't know what happened, but managed to send that MC all the way down. Send it back up a little bit, but it's to get there just in time. Time to pause that queue. And just got 1 heavy tank out, so it's time to move out, you know. Fortunately, I moved right into a buggy. At least I killed it, but that definitely exposed my entire army, so he's aware that I am getting ready to push, and then I've probably done double rack since I have a lot of infantry there. Yeah, the eco on this map is definitely bad. You can tell it's a lat map because it's very bad on eco. So I'm already stalling, and really shouldn't be. I think it's just the fact that you only have the one old Derek, and the tip is just kind of sparsely placed. Trying to do the fancy force fire marker there, but it doesn't work in CA, but it's alright. Rifle goes down, kill his rifle scout in the middle, kill another one, so he's totally aware of where my army is, but that's okay. He also sees another heavy tank, so he definitely knows I'm stringing in. It's alright, I'll just keep rotating around, make him keep moving his army. As long as I keep these heavy tanks in front, which they're so bad at doing, then maybe I'll be alright. Just trying to fix my reserves, get him to a better rally point. Since I'm there, I said might as well just kill his old Derek. So that's a nice little win. It's gonna hurt him economically a little bit. And that meter tank in the bottom is just being a nice little screen, so I'm moving up to the top just in case that's where he expanded. But chances are he's a more defensive player, more passive player. He's gonna expand to the bottom. And I'm like 1 pixel away from finishing that ref, which is unfortunate. Try to cancel the defensive structure, but didn't have one ready. Low power, just waiting for that carve to drop off. Just gotta stop building that ref. And it keeps sending out these rifle scouts, so he's doing a really good job of keeping where my army is. But at the same time, like, he's just slowly losing some forces, and I'm more okay to do with that. You know, if I can keep him contained, then that's a win in my book. But I hear their artillery there, and I've got a decent concave, so it's time to go in. He's also got a really good concave, but I think I just have much more concentrated mass. I'm also attack moving while he is not, so all of his armor's down. I'm having a pretty good engagement. Got the heavy tank on artillery as well. Another artillery in there. Another artillery, and it's actually doing a pretty good job for him. So once you get a bunch of those tier 1 artilleries up like that, they can do a good job. You can see that last splash was pretty big. Pretty much everything. See his radar on there, but I got some army stringing in. But a second laser turret comes down there, so decided to pull back. He's micro-running as well. One of the things I did scout that he does love his Apache play. They are pretty good anti-infantry, so he cleans that up with the rest of my army. That pretty much tells me that he's on tier 2, so trying to build some BTRs for some anti-air and just retreat back. You know, I think a good engagement there. I've got the army advantage. Don't want to waste it away. I've got plenty of eco now, so yeah, I finally realized I need to restart that queue. Get some more BTRs out. I decided to send 2 of these off just to see if I can get them on a flanking mission. Catch a harvester. You know, they're not as effective at doing that as they are in RA. I think it's just they're so slow. Soviets don't really have a good harassing unit, but other factions definitely do, like Last Raiders. I've mentioned that before. Heard the commander queue, so he's already at T3, which is not great for me, because I'm only just now reaching tier 2, so it could be a little hard to deal with that. But at least I got tier 2 out, so I can get some yaks to snipe out those commandos, which is what they're really good for. Just placing the chemical tower down, yeah. I got the extra cash, might as well place them when I can. And there he goes, picking off rifle scouts with the 3 Apaches. Poking with him, but he's just going to retreat. Those Apaches are going to be super annoying to deal with. But as you can see, reaching with that single move out is nice. Basically, fully saturated on my half of the map. Despite that, G1. Fortunately, another rifle scout sees those heavy tanks there, so they're going to get engaged, but again, maybe he can pull his whole army out and his attack on the front will do something good. Apaches are getting poked at, the BTR are doing stuff, and then fortunately commandos are just super good in combined arms. Got C4, it's looking at the tank super annoying. He also scouts me with that radar scan right there, which is super annoying, so I just go ahead and retreat. Yeah, I don't know how many times I've tried to crush commando thinking it's RA and they just C4 your tanks and you lose them all and you're like, well, I was dumb. This heavy tank survives somehow. He's got a bad force fire there. I hear the Apaches, so that's always nice to hear. And the Yaks are coming out to deal with the commando, so that should be pretty good. If I can catch that commando during engagement, that can be really good. It can give you a false sense of security having that commando, and they are somewhat vulnerable. Some commandos like Yuri are less vulnerable, but no. Transfer Puff off there since I've already locust mined that bottom one. And I see this up to tier 4, and that is unfortunate because cyborgs are super hard to deal with. V2s are gonna help me, but yeah, cyborgs are gonna be a problem for me. They're just super tanky, super, like, I mean, they're a tier 4 unit, so it makes sense. Obelisk down there kills off a heavy tank, but it did get a good scout off at least. That's nice. So I'm doing the only thing I can do, which is focus on out macro control. Focus on more map control, out macro him. See, I'm going in here trying to use the BTRs to snipe those artillery. B2 is getting some good shots there. I'm looking in and see that he's really only got a commando there, so I should be alright. I just need to focus fire on that commando. You can see that commando is doing a number, but I finally punched through. Apaches are not doing so much, and then of course Shadow Team, super annoying to deal with, so I sent some stuff back to it. Unfortunately, I grabbed that BTR, and that is a problem. Yeah, you can see these cyborgs are just wrecking my infantry, and it's like only a few of them. And Yaks are not dealing with the cyborgs pretty well at all. So because that BTR did not go up there, he killed that ref. He's almost going to kill that other ref. In fact, he probably is going to kill that other ref. So yeah, this game seemed like it was going my favor, and then suddenly it is just completely out of hand. The one thing I got going for me is that I have an extra expansion, or at least map control, because he's probably up there as well. But yeah, I'm trying to go in. V2 misses, unfortunately. That V2 misses, unfortunately. I try to go in with this yak, but you can see I get one yak for pretty much all of it now. And yeah, he's just pushing through. V2 micro is not very good as well. And there goes another push deflected. V2s are a lot slower in Command Arms too, so they're not going to be able to get away. Try to do some blind force fire. Maybe I can get something, but it sounds like I missed. So yeah, I'm basically down to nothing. The Shadow teams are still going. They find another power plant. Super annoying. So yeah, Kato's got me on the ropes right now. I'm playing pretty poorly. He's definitely doing the runaround. See that there's a tank drop, so still tanks are on the bottom. It sucks. The yak kind of wasting its ammo on those planes too was unfortunate. But yeah, I'm just going to try to defend my expo because that's all I can do. Hopefully I can kill these tanks with the yak, but nope, they're just too tanky. The yaks are not good. I think they got buffed in the newest patch, but one harvester already goes down. BTR not going to be able to deal with that stink as well, so I'm definitely in dire straits here. I know that his MC was on the move as well, so at least I got that going for me. If I can maybe catch it off here, that'll be good, but guess what? More Shadow teams still up there. I think I'm finally going to deal with them with the yak unless they get away. And they do. They close again, so I'm just losing power constantly, and he's just giving me the runaround, so absolutely phenomenal play there by Kato. But I do catch his MC there, which is nice. He instantly sells it off, so yeah, that's going to give me a way back into this game. He's going to be dry on eco for a pretty hard amount. He's not going to have any buildings for at least a good minute. 2X finally going to kill that snake, so that's nice too. So economically, I'm struggling as well. I'm down a ref, which is probably a huge problem, but I also have more map control, which is nice. And I've got a decent sized army again. I've kind of stalled back, but just really starting to pump out refs. That's all I want to build is refs. And yeah, these refs are just long distance mining. I mean, I could pull them over to the right side, but I'm not sure how well I'm going to hold it. Go ahead and sell a barracks because, again, my eco is just hurting that hard. I can't afford to build out of 4 production queues at once. There goes the Shadow teams again, but this time I'm kind of somewhat ready for him. I'm trying to attack into him. I think I finally got the Shadow team there. I might have missed a video, to be honest. I cannot remember. I'm gonna go. I got a decent position, but he has so many cyborgs here. Cluster missiles to boot, so yeah, and these yaks were definitely a problem. Just flying over his infantry. Cluster missile goes down on my war factory and actually got a big chunk of my army there, so I got pretty salty about those yaks. It's all it is just cyborgs are so tanky, and then the yak minimum range gets some focus fired on one that they can't kill, so kind of unfortunate, but I'm pretty much dead at this rate. I have 2 heavy tanks to my name and 2 rockets, and he has a full tier 4 army, so I got Heroes of the Union, which is nice. Tons of elite, and they're like super good. Yeah, you can see how quickly they kill him, but I can't deal with that, so that is it for me. Kato very handily took that game. I think his tier 4 play was really good there. I had 1 good attack, and it just wasn't enough. His Apaches definitely saved him there, and then just couldn't find an opening on him, so we'll have to jump into game 2. Alright, back here for game 2. Once again, picking Krakow. Rolled into Legion again, so I'm pretty comfortable on this. Done this like 3 or 4 times already. It seems to be a comfort pick, both faction and map-wise for me. So, yeah, definitely going to do that. Triple ref, double barracks build here again. It works so well on this map, I think, especially if you can get a good early engagement. Kato rolled Nod again. I'm not sure which sub-faction, but I just know that he picks Nod, so that's always going to be. So we got somewhat of a mirror here, but that's alright by me. Pump out a few rifles. 20 is probably a little bit too much. I'll have to cancel a few of those off. And then just get that old Eric. Got 5 rifles out, so that first one can come out. I think I actually go 6 rifles there, but that was just because that 6 rifle is going to gun down. Maybe 7 engineer if you're not careful. Always got to send one, you know, just to check, especially with these non-reusable engineers. He kills the barrels, which is great. And then I'm just running through. Got great position there. Managed to kill one of his rifles already. So he gets really lucky there, kills an engineer. That was just a good play on him and bad position on my part. So, gotta cancel off a bunch of rifles, but I'm just gonna go right back into another engineer. I really want these old Erics. So, the faster I get them, the more economy I'll have, the more I'll be able to push with that double barracks army. This old Eric should be safe. I mean, if he got another engineer just from a random rifle, that would be top tier play, and it would probably throw me into a hypertension overload with all that salt. So, selling off 1 ref, just reinforcing my army. Don't need that extra ref on this map, anyways. And yeah, it's just gotta slowly catch up now since I'm a little bit behind. Can't even build more since the harvesters are coming back at the same time, which is unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is. So the engineer's gonna get in nice and safe, which is good. Now I'm gonna poke out with some of my rifles. Just focus on those harvesters micro just a little bit. Want them to get all those good patches. Gonna win that battle, but unfortunately he's got too many rifles there. But that does state that maybe, hey, he's not gonna have so much as his old Eric, so I'm gonna go attack it. And oh no, he has a ton there. So weirdly enough, I issue a stop command right there, and they just didn't register and kept going. So that definitely sent me through this to the salt. I was pretty upset about that. But yeah, that was I don't know what happened, if it just didn't register or what, but I know that I fully pressed S and it just didn't happen. Like, it's not hard to tell when you have a mechanical keyboard when you press the key, so it is what it is. Salt levels through the roof. I'm gonna have to go get on some medicine after this game or something, but 2 Rexes out now, so it's time to pump out a bunch of infantry. A bunch of rifles for 1 and 10 and 5 from the other. Again, placing those power plants next to each other is probably something that I should clean up. That's very dangerous against like Shadow or any other factions that have stuff that can quickly snipe power plants. Just got nothing else to do besides queue up a bunch of infantry. I'm just gonna play completely defensive for now until I get a few tanks out. And again, after losing all those rifles, there's no reason to push out. You don't want to just snowball into your opponent winning because you're being too aggressive. There's times to be aggressive and there's times to be passive, and this is the time to be passive. What I am going to go do is I'm going to send a large detachment down there just to kill that old Eric, because chances are he's not going to have an army down there. And if he does, then that should hopefully deal with it, unless he randomly has a tank there. If he has a tank there again, that's just something that's too much for me. That's probably it. But War Factor goes down. Think about my harass, but I'm like, nah. Stick with the plan. Get those tanks out. If I can pull his army out of position 2 and get these tanks going with that bottom army, that could be really good. If he overcommits and sends all of his army down there thinking I'm gonna do something else, then my main army could roll in through the front. And just to make sure he's got nothing down there, I'm gonna play it smart, play it safe. I'll send that 1 rifle in just to make sure if I see stuff, then I'll just back out. all I see is the 4 stack and the 1 rifle down there, so just keep the rifle or the rockets back. Make sure they don't die, because that would be kind of a waste, and then just quickly burn down this oil derrick. So that's a small grace there, a nice little win, but I think I'm still kind of far behind in this game right now with that early engagement. Doesn't help that I'm also stalling. Got 1 Q pause, but yeah, I've just got 2 tanks out, which is good. Kind of wanted to cancel both those rockets the whole queue since it's like $150 there, but started getting the money back anyways, so it's all good. But if I can get this ref down, I'll be in alright shape. As long as he doesn't catch me by surprise. I know that's something that Fazar likes to do a lot, is just catch your army right when you're moving it. Unfortunately, that one piece of the tib just interfering with that ref, so annoying, but it is what it is. So I go down here, I'm hoping he kind of keeps a lot of his army there, but there's a decent amount, but it's too far behind, so again, just have to kill his oil derrick. Reveal that I have a huge size army and he kills one of my oil derricks in return, so tit for tat there. But I think I'm in a little bit better position oil derrick wise, maybe economy wise since I've moved out early as well, man. Got another ref coming down because I'm just really trying to get that eco up. 5 archers is what I'll have after all these refs, so see that he's got a lot of infantry there and he's got a pretty big concave, but you know, I know that I have a lot of infantry and I've got, I think, a better angle here. He's chasing me, and as soon as I see that, then I want to go back in. Just want to make sure I get these tanks in front first. And tanks are mostly in front, but yeah, he's only got 1 tank in front and he's kind of stuck there, so this concave is really going to help me. As soon as these other tanks get in front too, I'll be in pretty good. He only had the 1 tank on the right side. So this is exactly what I was looking for to get back into this game. Because I think that was all of my army versus all of his army, and I walked out with a really good ratio there. So I've got a big army lead, I feel like. Got my economy finally rolling. I'm in a good spot here. I can start splitting, you know, force him on the bottom and rally up to the top. I'm also taking another expansion too, so again, just being really aggressive with my map control. Trying to keep him contained as much as possible. I'm gonna go for another racks before radar, just to get that extra army value, since I know I'm gonna have a lot of eco in just a minute here. Yep, just splitting my army from the top and then re-rallying to the middle. Get that building production queued up. See that he's not down there, so he either did not expand yet, or he's gone to the top, or he's gone to the middle where I'm at, but if he goes there, then that's going to be a big problem for him. And again, I get kind of lucky with him pushing out, since he's got a pretty big size army there. But again, I'm more than happy to trade out my top army if this means this bottom army can get in and do some damage. And unfortunately for him, he's just not trading too well on the top at all. That top army is actually somehow surviving. He managed to kill an artillery, so this is it. It's time to barf move all in on him. Artillery on the bottom, but it goes down. His army on the top is just nothing but rifles, so it's looking pretty bleak for him. And I'm even going to be super aggressive and push that MC across. But yeah, that was really just one big engagement that won me that game, and managed to come back from that. So once again, we're going to the game 3 to decide it. Alright, so we're back here for game 3. I rolled into Iraq once again, which is not ideal. Kato's having a little connectivity issues right now, but as soon as he connects, it's like fine after this. I don't know what's going on with that, but we're on the map ORA or ORA. I'm not sure which it's pronounced as. It's kind of a weird map. We got this 3 tip tree start. Not super good for like a rough sale just because where those state trees are placed. But you also have 3 oil derricks in the middle, which are like very evenly placed, so you can kind of go to all 3 of them pretty much easily. So I'm going to do something a little cheeky here, and I'm going to run some rifles straight through the middle. I feel like the rush distance is just far enough that people don't expect somebody to just dive their main base, especially with those tantalizing oil derricks out there. So I want to make sure I go down the right side, since I'm pretty sure like that's my natural side, and his side's going to be the left side. But yeah, other than that, I think I'm just going to do the Eno build again. I feel like that triple rifle one on this one, not super good, but who knows, we'll have to see when I get there. place that ref down. And just judging by the fact that I placed it there, I'm definitely going to do a ref cell, which is, you know, not ideal, but it is what it is. So I see that he's got a rifle there just because he killed the bro, so I'm like, cool. And I see a rifle in the back, so I'm like, alright, I'll clean that up, send those guys to the back. You know, I've got 3 rifles there, might as well. That would be pretty good. I don't see an engineer coming from the middle, so alright, time for plan A, which is to dive his main base. You know, if I can get that engineer in the backside, that'll be pretty good. Another ref down. I'm kind of slow to start building there. Didn't realize I didn't have Q, but that's alright. Gonna get that second barracks in after my war factory comes out, so a little bit change over here, but I do find his hand and nod right there in the open. I also see that all of his army's there, so that's actually honestly exactly what I wanted to see. Because like, if I can kill that barracks before he gets some rifles out, then I'll be in great shape. And I know he's got a huge army over on that right side, so somehow he still has a lot of rifles around. I'm trying my best to focus fire. He's pulled a harvester, which is also good for me. Unfortunately, I was a little quick. Did not get that last rifle, but you know, I pulled this harvester off. I've killed his hand and nod. I've lost like 15 rifles for it, but like that's some economic downtime that he's gonna have to worry about. He's gonna have to rebuild that hand and nod, which is another, you know, 12 seconds that he's down. So I don't know if I'm ahead necessarily, but I think I'm in an okay position. Get a second engineer out so he can go to that 4 side, and I should be able to stack it. And I should be able to claim this middle of Derek too, unless he's pushed all of his infantry there, but I've got a BTR coming out, so if he's gonna push, he's gonna have a bad time, and I'll be able to kill him with the heavy armor. Engineer is slowly taking time over there. Side, no, I don't want to do the double racks build. I'm building a lot of tanks already. I'm just gonna do more of a standard build here. So wasted about, you know, 20 seconds, so I guess he's even on the racks timing now, I guess. But still probably better off than going for that double racks build. I think I would have just been in a world of hurt. Especially since I only had 2 harvesters out, so yeah, maybe a mistake on there, I don't quite remember. But I'm gonna get this oil there on the backside, which is good. I'm gonna have this middle nesting controlled, so BTRs are pretty good against early nod stuff. You know, bikes are light armor, buggies are light armor. So there's not a whole lot he can do with it. And that harvester is a little bit running away, but kind of saved it, so not terrible. Fix my Q after that. Yeah, I'll be up to 5 harvesters in just a second after this BTR, and that'll be really nice. Place the flame tower on the back side, because it's that, you know, I'm going to go to the right side, so I'm not super worried about something getting in behind there. And get that radar up too, which is going to get me those hinds, which I really want, since doing kind of an Eno build. I'd call it an Eno build, but it's really just a normal build in CA, but I don't know. Kind of base builds off the people who see him usually against me first. But after that 5th harvester is all I'm going to have some really good eco out. 2 ORA Derricks, plus all of the harvesters. I'm going to kill off his ORA Derrick as well, so he's going to be in a little bit more dire straits. BTRs don't do anything to those, but it's alright. Army will eventually show up, kill him. Got the 1 BTR scout and make sure he's not coming in. With the airfield out, move that MCV away. Start pumping out those hinds. I should be in a good spot here. His ORA Derrick goes down without a hitch, so that's nice. And I'm just going to reposition myself. I feel like a lot of this map revolves just around this trees in the middle. You don't want to get too far away from that, to be honest. It's definitely a do or die in the middle of this type of map. Build a power plant, then build a ref on the backside. Then I'm going to do a really quick tier 3 tech after that, since, you know, I don't want to deal with those cyborgs at tier 1 or tier 2 again. I want to get Soviets, like high-end stuff, which Desolators are not super good against, like the heavy armor cyborgs, but like the basic cyborgs they're much better at. Some Kurovs would be really good for this heavy stuff, or even the Suzukis are a good anti-heavy unit. I don't know if that was me or him that lost an infantry to Siberian, but it kind of cued me off to scout around. You can kind of see it, but I didn't even notice during the game, but I have to absolutely try to send some bikes in but that chemical tower just scared him away at the top. He could have just sat on the edge of that tip field, and I don't think I would have ever noticed. But I'm going in with the Blackhawks, getting some free snipes on the rockets. I think that was 3 down already, so this guy's about halfway paid for. 3 more and he'll be fully paid for. There we go. 2, 1 more and he'll be fully paid for. But just gotta hide on the mountain for now since his bikes are after him. And unfortunately, he just gets enough vision and it goes down. But it's only 1600 for a hind, so I guess technically after 5 he's fully paid for. Biplane coming up, but again, another hind just gonna poke in. And now I feel like I've got a decent angle here. But I kind of second guess myself a little bit. I just want to pull back, which is unfortunate because those tanks do not pull back. So that forces me to kind of bounce back again, and this is going really poor for me. That little hiccup right there is probably going to hurt a lot. The one thing I got going for me is that I sniped out a ton of his rockets, so this heavy tank is going to live much longer than it ought to have. Yep, just place another chemical tower, just letting that army kill as much as possibly can. I'm not going to even try to save it. It's dead. Yeah, but the good news is this doesn't really have a whole lot to deal with these hinds. And if I can just keep sniping out his rockets, it's going to be that much worse for him. Another hind that pretty much got his spot back instantly, so when I see his MCV is already moved up to the middle, that's fine. Then I get my checks around and go, you know what? He's been pretty deathball-y, so I'm going to start queuing up a demo truck, because demo trucks are great anti-deathball units. And once again, just sniping out all the rockets. Bike's there, I'm not going to try to retreat. Just barely kill that bike, and now I'm finally up to second racks. But it's up to tier 3, so you know, that racks is only 500, which is nice. And then Boris will help me deal with a lot of his armies, so he's definitely a must-have. I go back into Mammoths, because, you know, I think Mammoths are okay, but spoiler alert, Mammoths are bad in my opinion. But yeah, I'm in a pretty good position here. I got plenty of eco for now. Decide, yeah, Mammoths aren't going to be it. I need to focus on the base push, focus on the artillery, deal with those defenses. There you go, yeah, I got Kuros. Kuros are pretty good. Bikes are focusing on the backside, just using this hind to scout with my Boris, if I can catch him off guard. Moving my MCV to the middle since it's about that time. Get a nice scout to see, yep, his army is indeed all right there. There's not a whole much on this right side. I'm like, oh yeah, my demo strike that I forgot about. Well, I don't want to run it straight into defense, so it could be very dangerous here, but I'm going to queue up right around my army and see if I can hit him from that right side. So yeah, I want to make sure my army gets far away because I don't want to get it caught. But this demo truck is getting pretty close. Just scouting with my rifle there, and I see that that was probably one of the best winter trucks I could have gotten. And that killed all of his infantry, which is super nice. Because now he's in a lot of trouble. 1, because his army is still in the front and I'm knocking on his main door. But 2, he's moving his MCV, and that is going to be absolutely brutal for him. And the radiation on the demo truck just killing any extra infantry he had, so yeah, the demo truck definitely turned the game easily, I think. Everything's going down. It's got an Apache, but it kills Boris, but it's not even that important anymore. His MCV goes down, Courage are on his back door, and I think Kato is suddenly in a world of hurt. And he goes in and calls GG, so I didn't feel like I deserved that game. That demo truck absolutely turned things around. I was having just horrible engagements that entire time. That attack right in front of his base where my tanks didn't get pulled back and I pulled my infantry back, that was something. So I said, I don't deserve that. That was a lucky demo, but sometimes you just need luck to win these games. And that's going to be it for Kato. I advanced to round 3. It's going to be it for this series, or this week I should say rather. But yeah, I'll see y'all next time.